This is the Vanilla of a reaction show to Barnsley's 2-1 win against Lincoln. First away game of the season, first win. So we're going to react to that, and then we're also going to look forward to Tuesday's start of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, formerly Papa John's Trophy, when it really wasn't its prime. We used to get a free piece if you've got a season ticket, which that's when it's peak, when we welcome Manchester United under-21s to Oak Club. Let's get stuck into it. So, Al, you were there yesterday. A positive result, but Darryl Clark came out after the game and said, fans 10 out of 10, performance 3 out of 10, and said we played better in the last two games where we, won, lost and drew.
Correct. We were poor in defence for a lot of game, and first half, Pines got pickpocketed and they could have scored. I mean, they could have gone in half time, one apiece, to be honest, with chances they had. But great to get off to a blinding start on 13 minutes when Cosgrove. Both our goals came from free kicks. First one a foul on Cotter, second one a foul on Cosgrove. And what a deft touch. 2 touches to put ball back in net into the bottom left-hand corner. Away fans went mental, to be honest. It was great that Cosgrove scored and everybody were pleased for him. He needed it. And then, as I said, we went in 1-0 and thought, can we hang on to this? Because it's not an easy place to go to. And what surprised me before kick-off were team selection. Having Earl, De Givney, Pines and Roberts all in the same team. Really surprised me that Earl were on left wing back, which, he had a decent game, I thought. And then second half we come out and got another quickish goal. It's unlike us to come out second half and get a quick goal. It's usually opposite way around. We come out and opposition scores a quick goal. And at 2-0 up, you're thinking we're coasting. No, we weren't coasting whatsoever. We were on back foot for a lot of that second half. A lot of bad passes, a lot of poor decision making. And to be honest, it highlighted it when our new keeper came out and I think MDG put it past him and they were chasing back to stop an own goal. Arts were in mouths because it were at away end and we're all blowing to try and stop that ball going in that net, and it could have been far worse. We could have just come away with a point and it had been valid for performance by Lincoln City to come away with a point. And I think we were lucky not to give a penalty away. But saying that, that's the only thing referee Mr. Coy did for us. I was fuming all afternoon with him. We didn't get one decision. I know we got them 2 free kicks, but a lot of decisions went against us. Really went against us. But it is what it is. You move on. But we work in progress. We definitely work in progress. And 3 points is what matters. Performance, you could say it don't matter, but it does really. Onwards to Tuesday. But, credit to crowd yesterday. They were amazing. Amazing fans.
It definitely seemed like it, especially sort of the noise and roar when we scored, especially that first one. It was really, really loud. Jane, it's a little bit strange, because obviously, as we've mentioned there, we played better in the Mansell game and better in Wigan midweek, and then to come up against Lincoln and not play as well, but get the result, it sort of makes you feel just a bit conflicted about it all. I've been like, well, it's almost as though we were due one due to the other games, but still you're just left wanting more.
Yeah, don't you think that's just football though? In general, you can have an outstanding game and think, how on earth have we lost that? We played so much better, and then you can just play dire and you think we shouldn't have won that. Shouldn't have won that. No way. That's football, I think, Josh. That's just the game that we love. I'm so glad Robert's gone on the score sheet. I'm so glad he's showing who he is as a player, because he's a good player. We know he's a good player.
Yes, Jane.
Want it. Well, at least he scored.
His best. He scored, but it wasn't his best.
Well, it can only get better then. At least he got one in back at net, which is what I get what you're saying now. Performance on pitch matters for us all, and it matters to fans and club. and the potential sell-on fees of players, you know, to make profit to keep the club running. But it's been a bit of a shaky start. I mean, last season we were flying, weren't we? We had a good away record as well last year. So we might have to maybe roll with that a bit this year. I don't really know, because it's been we've had a lose, draw, win. So in last 3 games. So, and I don't know if people are still finding the feet. I just don't know. It's a really odd start to season this year. So I don't really know which way it's going to swing. We can just, I don't know. We're going to have to take it game by game, because we've not come out flying, but we've not come out being dismal either. So I don't really know where to go with this one this year, apart from let's see what next few months brings, and then maybe reevaluate then after summer and say, look, this is, you know, this is where we think we're going to be in table or what. I don't know. It's been a really strange one this year, Josh.
It's almost been I see it though as a little bit of a good thing of it's not been all rosy and like sunflowers and rainbows in terms of we know where we need to improve, and it's not papering over cracks of being like, oh, we don't need 2 strikers, because in that Mansfield game we saw we need some more depth up there. Same against Wigan. You can just see that that's something which we need. So I'm glad we've not set off like house on fire and it's like, oh, here we go, we're flying. We've had that little bit of nervousness and unsettling performance.
We don't know, do we?
No.
We just don't know what team's going to turn up.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of hangover from last season, I think.
Nice to see Aidan getting up bench more. I noticed he's been involved in all games, so it's nice for me personally to see Aidan getting up bench and hopefully getting some really good game time this year. So that's what I'm hoping for me.
Yeah. And I think, well, at the minute, definitely will, given there's one of 3 strikers we've got at the minute, so guaranteed game time. Craig, another thing which Del Clark mentioned yesterday was if Ardsley was too busy for what he wanted him to be, and he said he never really felt comfortable or settled in that game at all. And I think you could almost tell from the way in which we set up and kind of played of just again another lethargic performance. To a degree again, and individual errors and mistakes, which is something that we attributed to be Neil Collins' fault last season, and they're starting to creep back into this season already. So starting to make me give him a bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, I think the 2 words I definitely used for this game were sloppy and lethargic. I thought we were slow in possession. We had no attempt to try and work the ball up to the final third. We just hoofed it up there. Majority of the time, it was just long ball, long ball, long ball. And when you're playing against a 5 at the back formation, we're there aerially going to dominate our strikers, which I think Cosgrove did well to say won 57% of his aerial duels. When he's up there with a smaller guy, you know, we're not going to get up that pitch as often as if we tried to pass it up, obviously. Slanina, I thought were great again. That particularly highlight that being that one-on-one chance in the first half. I thought it was fantastic to say. He's been here about a week now. So the total pass accuracy of our entire team were only 59%. I think that says a lot about where our problems come. We couldn't keep hold of the ball, kept giving it away to them. We'd just lump it, especially in the second half. We just kept lumping it forward and allowing them to come back onto us again, over and over and over again. I thought Mark Roberts had a pretty poor game, if I'm honest. The issues that you were saying at the beginning of the season, I personally, I'm of the opinion that it's either Pines or Roberts you play is that central spot, because I don't think neither of them are fast enough to play on the outside spots. And he got run at a few times in that second half, particularly. And I think he struggled. I mean, he did well in some situations, but that would have 100% penalty that I get away in the second half. That the referee, I don't know what the referee were doing, but that would have stonewall penalty. But these are the sort of games last season where we'll have got absolutely dominated and would have got beaten handsomely. So to come through it with a win, even though as much as I reckon we don't deserve it, it's nice to get them matches with a nice win next to them. But another player I've got to pick on. I hate picking on players, but I thought Adam Phillips were particularly poor yesterday as well. I mean, he did a lot of his running and stuff like that. But his passing was horrendous. I think it was 44% by end of game. Ground duels won, none out of three. You know, it's Connell in comparison, well, a lot higher than that on both metrics. Um, but I thought Connell, Dujuvene, especially Dujuvene, I thought he had a really good game. He marshaled that defense. I know the header back wasn't his best moment, but defending one on one, I thought he was particularly good at. Also, I think all three defenders were prolific in the air. I did the podcast with the Stacey Way, which is a Lincoln podcast before this, and their guys seem to think that aerially they'd be dominant in the game, and I had to tell him that we've got like I think 4 or 5 6'3" players plus, and I said that we'd probably score from a set piece, which is why I said 1-0. But it's good to get the win, but there's lots to work on, and not just the players the board need to, Mladen especially needs to get in this window and start getting us some strikers in because our press is non-existent at the minute. I mean, Cosgrove, as good as that finish was, that's not typical of him. That could be a one in 20 chance of that going in normally when he shoots. Um, and Waters, I think he just runs about a lot and that's it. He's not really got much other than that.
But them two things you just said there,
Unless he shows us any different, I'm gonna.
them two things you just said there in terms of his press is non-existent, but you just said Waters runs about a lot, so surely he'd be instigating the press.
Yeah. You cut off a little bit then. I didn't hear what you said, Fuller.
So in terms of when you said there about his press is non-existent and sort of saying it comes from the front too, but then you just said Waters runs about a lot. So
Yeah,
which one
he
is
does
it?
a lot. No, I mean chasing after the ball. He
So
does a
pressing.
lot. Yeah, but but I mean, as a team, the press is not effective. As a team, he does a lot of running. He'll run from one side of the pitch to the other because he's a lot faster than Cosgrove to close somebody down. But I mean, as a whole sole unit, we don't press together as a team effectively. You know, and you can't just have energy in this league. Bradshaw were the same when he were here. He just did a lot of running. But I mean, as the press, he presses well, but it's pointless if it's just him pressing and nobody coming in behind him. You know, it's got to be effective and it's got to be consistent. And I don't think it is. I don't think the midfield are pressing fast enough either. You know, I think we're all still learning to play together as a team at the minute, and it's slow going. But what didn't help yesterday was just constantly giving them the ball back. You know, I can't believe I know we wanted to move away from crab football, but I didn't want to move away from having possession completely. You know, it's like we pick ball up between two passes, it was lofted over the top. It's like, I mean, it's just not effective at all.
Game management's got to be better, and that's where it's second half. Game management's got to be a lot
Yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah.
Because I would say one thing, you said obviously Luca did have a good game. When you look at his stats line, it looks all right. But the one-on-one chance in which they got came from Luca being slow to react to that ball coming. And the Phillips angle of his passing not being great, one of the ones that he did succeed in, built up to the first goal in terms of a massive switch on that side. So in terms of moments and also their goal, Luca stood slightly to the right of him and allowed the player to get the shot, then actually on target. If he just stood right in front of him and blocked him,
Got to say though,
it
that
did
was a
come off him.
quality finish.
It is, but the build
I
up
didn't
to it
see that
is
coming.
no. But if he just stands there and he's stood side on rather than in front of him, and in that position, if he stands in front of him, he has to go backwards. If he stands side
Yeah,
on,
I don't think
run
anybody
out.
had a particularly great game yesterday, but I just highlighted the fact that I thought, especially in an attacking sense, I thought Connell did a captain's performance. If you're captain, you've got to be one at best on pitch. If you ask me, and I thought he was. Yes, he made mistakes, but like I say, also does Roberts has got a good rating on most websites that rate this match, but I thought that covered up a lot of cracks that I saw. Where it was the flip of a coin whether we were going to concede because of it, but we just so happened to get heads each time, and he managed to just deal with it. But looking forward to upcoming matches in this season, that can't hold true throughout the whole season. You know, we're going to come up and it's going to be complete opposite, and we're going to concede 3 goals.
My
You know,
concern yesterday were from corners. They won most at balls when we were attacking second half against us, and we didn't pick up second balls, did we? They were quicker, sharper to get to the ball. We were stood like statues at times. I will say, yesterday, when we came out at ground, Neerav were there, our chairman. That surprised me that it must be over. So hopefully, Neerav, you're here to sort some business out.
I think that's a good point you mentioned there in terms of sort of second phase of corners, because you look at Stephen Quinn's goal against for Mansfield, sort of that second phase. We won the first header, but nowhere for the second.
Not punching out fast enough. Yeah,
yeah. And we had this, and that happened a minute before in the first corner which they had, and the exact same thing happened. So I think it's something that definitely is working on. But I think you summed it up well, Al, to start with. It's a work in progress. I think sometimes we can be a bit critical in terms of performance because it's not what we want or expect. But as you alluded to there, Craig, it's a game where last season we'd have gone through and probably got turned over in that game, or at least drawn, which is what happened. Exactly the same thing last season. They scored late on to equalise and make it 2 apiece. Whereas at least this season, the positive is we held on to it, which I suppose every cloud.
I don't think they played particularly well either, though, compared to what we come up against last season. I thought they were pretty poor as well, and I probably think that their fans will agree. So I think it was just who were the worst of the 2 poor teams, and luckily we won. But you know, it's what's made it harder is not having a complete squad ready, and we're waiting for signings yet again, going into final 2 weeks of the window, and we need to get this stuff done quicker. We really do. Because the first few weeks can set the tone, especially for the first half of the season, run up to Christmas. You know, if you don't go in there with a few wins under your belt, you know, heads can drop. You know,
I mean, I'd agree with it, but just based off of this here, I'm pretty sure we're dead last at Christmas.
That were a 1 in a million.
It just reminded me of that when I've seen it stick up. I get it. I get that point of all fans. We all want it to be done before season starts, at least. Everyone wants the ideal situation, but it's just not how it works. It just isn't how it works.
We know. We've been Barnsley fans for long enough. We know.
It just isn't how it works, which is so, like, I understand the criticism towards the board and the criticism sort of towards Mladen as sort of sporting director. I get that. But at the same time, now we're in League One as well. We're even further down pecking order for getting the team sorted out, because we'll have to wait. If we want Joe Taylor, for example, from Luton, we have to wait for them to sort out their business, to then allow him to be free, and then also, oh, by the way, there's 3 other sides that want him. There'll be one in Championship that'll want him, and they'll between.
We argued about this 2 shows ago. You said I was wrong when I said we had to wait for other teams to sort out their business.
Yeah, because you said transfers, not loans. Loans are a completely different thing. No, because you said transfer value. You said transfer values go down at the end of a transfer window, which is
depends how desperate they are to sell.
It doesn't. It depends how desperate the other team is to buy him. Sunderland till I die is a really good example of it. Of they waited 2 or 3 days and price of a player going up $1 million.
Yeah, but they were going after their key player, not somebody they wanted to get rid of.
Same with Liam Kitchen though. We turned down like £3 million for him and sold him last day.
Because he was our key player. He was one of our key players.
Exactly. It went nowhere to tell me.
I know, Al. You got lied to.
You've said it, and Alan started now. You've said
in terms of players, though, like transfers just do go up at end of a window because no one's that desperate to get rid of someone by that time, because that means you're waiting for money to come in to then sign someone else. Which, if you've run out of time, you're not bothered. You can they know that their budgets and financials will carry them out until January, so it doesn't really matter. That's why prices just shoot up to the end, because it's all about the desperateness of the teams that sign them in. Whereas loans are the complete opposite in terms of, like, Burnley, we had to wait all the way until the end to sign him.
Well, we're looking at anyway. I think it's Mo Farr from West Brom, aren't we? Looking at Joe Taylor from Luton, and we're looking at Kilo Dunn from Mansfield. They're the 3 names that I'm seeing banded around currently. I just hope we can get a couple of them in.
Going back to yesterday, though, plus point for me is what I said in pre-game show. What we did is that they scored 85 and 86 minutes, didn't they? We kept him out. And the do drive, Lincoln City play to the final whistle. and we did well in that last 10 minutes in additional time to hold on to all 3 points. So I'll take that as a plus.
Speaking
I
of
was
3
impressed
points,
by
Al,
their fans as well. To be fair, they were a good set of fans.
someone's
what
have to return on Stacey West podcast.
No, look, I'll praise Al. I mean, didn't I criticise Bolton fans last year? That one gave me on no podcast.
I don't know. I don't think your criticism wasn't as bad as Tracy's did. Bless her, each thing. Al, speaking of 3 points, what were your prediction?
Andy Special, 2-1.
2-1 win. Is that 3 points for us
Three,
too?
3 points for Red, 3 points for Al.
I think
I
I
I
went
think you
2-1
should
as
get
well.
points for a 2-1 now because it's just like going over to the dark side. I'm not going to buy a shirt. I'm going to buy one. I'm not going to go 2-1 because of Andy. I'm going 2-1. You know, Andy. I mean, Alan, you're just a walking contradiction, mate.
I like it, Al.
Craig's on it this morning, isn't he? I hope you're all right, fella.
Hey, I've had my Weetabix this morning. That's it.
You had some sleep, but you had no sleep or what?
It's his new computer.
It's my new laptop. I'm trying to impress it so it don't break on me.
You talk out.
But we'll take us 3 points here, Al, won't we?
I've certainly take 3 points. You know,
With
does
that.
that make us top at league? I don't know.
Probably because I doubt someone predicted. I think only one person predicted Mansell win, which gives them 1 point. It depends on the Wigan game.
I predicted a set piece goal. I should get points for that.
Just get well done.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Right, moving on then to Tuesday night's game against Manchester United 21s. Jane, this is a game that's potentially could feature Devaney's son.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the
So
United
obviously,
Academy.
as we know, Martin Devaney's son plays for under 21. So yes, potentially he might upset his dad, but I'm sure he's not bothered. No, it should be a good game. They are a good team. They may be an academy team, but they're from a very, very good and well-established academy, and they are flying at minute. Their under 21s are really good. Some really good players in there. So it could get interesting. It could very well be a loss. Potentially, there's some. They'll be coming into getting to peaks of the fitness. Not there, but coming into the peaks of the fitness. There'll be some very fast, clever young players on that pitch, or they won't be where they are. So we need to be very aware of that. I think speed and who sounds on it, passing ball is where they're going to get us, which is basically football. So There we go. Let's see. Let's just see. I'm not particularly hopeful for Tuesday, but it's a very negative morning on Red All Over this morning, guys, don't we? Very negative. I want to bring some positive, as Jane does. So I'll still have a bit of hope that we may be able to win them, but I'm going, and I'm actually looking forward to see some young players and the potential of their futures as well.
Yeah, I think obviously it is. You don't get to Man United's academy into 21s by accident necessarily, and even if they don't make it United, they'll sort of filter the way through and probably establish themselves in the football league as well at some point in their career. So it is a difficult one. We lost to Man City a few years ago, and their 21s. I think that was 2019. I think I can't remember when it was. But it is very much they're drilled into systems. They know exactly how they're going to play because it's something they've been taught since they've been a child, basically. And you can sort of tell that they've all got their own ways of playing at this level.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy, and we know there's going to be big changes to our squad, aren't there? We know Northampton coming up, so we're not going to see a lot at first teamers. Aye. Andy's bike.
Special feature there for us.
I think Gent will start. We definitely play some at youngsters. Jürgen Nathan will get another start. We'll see the Smith or Killip in nets. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be a mix of the players who's not had a lot of game time, first teamers and under 21s. So it's going to be an interesting night. But they'll be on the metal, youngsters from Man United. They'll be really wanting to push on and show what they can do against the league club.
Of course.
I think sort of when you look at the quality as well that's coming through recently at United, when you've got Kobe Mainoo, who's what, 19, and shot all the way up to starting for England in the Euros in the 6-month period, it's sort of testament to the quality of their setup.
Yeah.
Anybody who's going on Tuesday night, it's a 7 p.m. kickoff.
Oh, is it 7? Right, yeah, I'm going.
It sounded like you weren't then for a minute, Jane, I'll be honest.
No, I definitely. I'm sorry, my mind just went then. No, I am going.
It did sound like you were turning up at half time.
Oh, shucks. I thought it was a 7:45 kickoff.
Yeah, just missed first half, but it's been all right.
Oh, well,
Craig, obviously these games, it's, especially at this part of the season, being so early, it's still almost glorified friendly territory, especially when it's a 21 side and not necessarily a sort of.
I'm glad it's not the full Man U side, Josh. I'm glad it's not.
It's true. So it is a little bit. It is an opportunity to rotate, rest, get those players in who haven't played much, which I'm not entirely sure who that will be, because I do feel like we have rotated between the first 3 games so far quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it's more just to getting partnerships worked on, getting some, like I said, some lads that have not played, like Jackson Smith, give them an opportunity. Some youth players, Yogan Nathan needs to play some more. I want to see him play. Marsh, get some more minutes under him. And like you said, it's glorified friendly. I don't even call it glorified. I think it's. I've made my opinion quite clear. I don't like this trophy. I think it's pointless.
Yeah.
I think it's good for rotation, and that's about it. Unless you're getting into final, it's pointless. I think it just adds minutes and adds fixtures when teams should be focusing on league, especially when you're trying to win a league, to get promoted. I think it's just a distraction that our first team doesn't need. So fringe players, the youth players, let them have their run, and that's it. And I think Pine should play some more because we're still trying to get him up to full fitness. It's another player I think could do with this match. But yeah, I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't care if we win or lose it. To be fair, it's just all about getting a bit of fitness and getting. I want to see Jackson Smith. I want to see what he's got to offer, because I know we've got Gaga Salina in now, and we got Kilipit first game. I want to see a bit more of Jackson, because I think he's very much who we're planning on using after this season, if he can prove himself to be ready. I think this season it come a bit too. I think we signed him and then it's come a bit too fast, which is why we got Salina in on loan. But yeah, like I said, I liked him last year, so let's see what the kid's got to offer.
I think it will be interesting. Sort of who do you reckon will start for us necessarily, Craig? Because I think it is like Johnny Russell's been rotated in and out at the minute, and come on after 20 minutes against Mansfield as well. Right back doesn't seem to be locked down yet to a position. Left back, we had George Jenk come off after 20 minutes in first game. So I think at the minute, for me, there's not necessarily like a set 11.
I think the team that'll start, I think it'll be Jackson in there. I think we'll have Pines at centre back. There's one of the centre backs. Probably see Nathan James in there as well. I think wing back, I'm only going to pick 2. I don't know what the third one's going to be. George Gent will start. Lofthouse will start. I think we'll see Matty Craig start as well in midfield, because he's been dragged off in 60th minute both games, which leads me to understand that he's probably not fully fit. So I think he'll be flanked by Russell, Yogan Nathan, and then I think we'll probably have Waters and Marsh up top.
Yeah,
I think there'll be a different lad up top. I don't know his name. He got a hat-trick in pre-season friendly, didn't he?
Oh yeah, yeah, one of you guys. I forgot his name.
Centre forward, I forget his name, but he got hat-trick in a pre-season friendly, so I might see him up top.
Yeah.
I'll
go with your knowledge on that, mate. I don't really watch these teams.
I'm hoping Aidan gets to start on Tuesday. Gets a start from beginning, not benched.
He needs a goal. He really needs a goal.
I know he does. I know he does.
I know you're his number one fan and everything, but
of course
we are an end product. A striker lives on their end product, and he needs to start.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to be number one fan, aren't I? But definitely.
Oh,
Oh,
I
naturally.
don't begrudge you for that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
I
needs
won't
to
worry,
start.
Craig. But no, he definitely does. Because he does a lot, as we know, he does a lot of running around. He does a lot of trying to, he tries to put pressure on keepers a lot, doesn't he? Does Aiden. He's good at that. But he doesn't, I think once he starts bagging him, I think it'll just keep coming. He's just got to it's like you're desperate for him to just get that breakthrough.
Well, he did score against Mansfield.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
if
like,
he'd
get
just
that
lifted
goal.
it a little bit higher, it'd probably
Yeah.
gone in.
Just get that
So-
goal and then let's start. Let's start opening them up and start getting them in there.
I did feel sorry for him last season because I'm pretty sure he had best goal contribution minutes on pitch. He contributed the most amount of goals out of everybody, and then got shipped out on loan.
Yeah.
Which I never got, because he kept going on and making an impact and then not starting. And then you got sent to York, and I was like,
Been really on and off with, hasn't it? It's been really like yo-yoing him. So I'm hoping this, like I say, I'm hoping this season, starting obviously, he just gets some time. This might be an ideal opportunity.
This next 2 weeks, certainly, because I do think we'll probably get 2 strikers in, and if he's not made an impression, he'll probably get pushed out pecking order a little bit. But
Yeah, exactly. Again,
so he's got this 2 weeks now. Knuckle down, kid, and get some goals in.
no pressure. He'll be fine with that. Predictions, Jane. What do you reckon then to Tuesday night? Because there's so many
honestly,
variables.
Because I can't lie. I think we're going to lose.
What score?
2-0 to them.
Oh, 2-0. Aiden's not grabbing his goal that he needs then.
No, I don't think so, but I really hope I'm wrong, and I really hope he does.
Al?
Oh, and as I say, it depends on the team, doesn't it, who he puts out. So we'll have to see. I mean, Lee Farrell is the striker. I were just looking to see who it was. He got hat-trick.
Well, bench last game, wasn't he, as well?
Other one is Theo Chapman. Could see. So there's a lot of variables for Tuesday night, but I'll go 2 apiece.
Oh, a Desmond. Craig?
You'd nick my prediction.
You
Get in
can,
here first then.
you can predict the same as other people.
Yeah. I think it'll probably be 2-2. Yeah, I'll give Marshy a goal as well.
Oh, good on, Craig.
I'll back the lad.
Go on, Craig.
I think you've all been negative, and you've been blinded by the big name of Man United.
Are they big anymore still? Yeah.
Oh, Craig just got his a load of grief.
Here we go. I'm getting cancelled. That's it.
I'm just here trying to think how we can milk Man United in this title and thumbnail and everything.
There you go. You got it. Not Manchester United big anymore.
And that is exactly what the name of this show is going to be now. I'll go. I think we'll win 2-1. I just think you'd like to hope it's one of them games where the first team players are cut above 21s, regardless if it is Man United, and that it's different to playing a different team's 21s in terms of standard. But you'd like to hope that Hines, Russell, whoever sort of the first team players are that are in and around that team are head and shoulders above everyone else that's on that pitch. And that's not in a disrespectful way, it's just that they're established pros, and to not be head and shoulders above the rest starts making it a little bit questionable.
I think you've been corrupted by Andy, me, mate, to be fair. All these 2-1s.
I just think someone's got to maintain his legacy whilst he's when he's not here.
Gone back to bed.
Yeah.
Whilst he's back in bed.
Whilst he's gone back to bed, bless him. So yeah, I'll go 2-1. I'll be the resident 2-1 prediction, and probably have 6 points in table by thinking I'll be top at league, and happy days, really.
That's an interesting one. Saying our under 21s, they start their season off on Tuesday, 20th of August at 2:00 against Charlton. So that might make a difference to line up at night.
Yeah.
That's it. We're a full first team then.
Full first team.
Oh, God.
Full strength first team.
Not again, please. 1 week off.
Get some more minutes under the belt. Right, we will be back on Wednesday with reaction to the start of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. and we'll preview Northampton as well at the weekend. Hopefully, we're starting to build some confidence after a win against Man United, but you never know because these games, you can't really read too much into them. Make sure to get your predictions down below. Please like, comment, get some discussions going in the comments as well. We really enjoy engaging with you guys when you drop your comments in there. And yeah, hopefully another win on Tuesday and we can start building some momentum this season. You Reds.
And things can only get better.
Yes. See ya.